Hi, I'm Sandra. Just finished my 3.6 mile run to top off the week 3. I'm training for a 100-mile race, 33 miles this week, 32 last week, 31 the week before. So in October 2025, I DNF'd my first 100-mile race attempt at the Javelina 100 race in Scottsdale, Arizona. DNF means did not finish, but now in my books, DNF means do not fear. Do not fear, and it'll happen again. So I signed up again for the race. I signed up for the 2026 Javelina 100-mile race. I've started training for it already, which is why I'm documenting this entire journey all the way up until October. At the end of this week's video, you will see how I've planned out my entire training schedule. And this all came to me kind of today. So I don't like to put any pressure on myself as far as looking too much forward to a training plan, but I do like to know that I'm increasing gradually every week. And that's what I'm going to be doing by at least 1 to 2 miles per week from now until April. And then April to May, there's 2.5 weeks in there that I'll be in Croatia on and hosting my Run Your Life retreats. So I have 2 retreats from the end of April to the 6th of May. It's not all bad as far as my DNF. I actually PB'd the 100-kilometer distance at the Javelina 100 race last year. In 2024, I did this race. I finished it in 23.5 hours. I missed the cutoff time during the 2025 race, but I realized that I was going to finish 4 hours earlier than the previous year. So I finished my 2025 100-kilometer distance at 19 hours and 23 minutes, which is a 4-hour personal best over 2024's distance. I mean, how can you be mad at that? And I posted a documentary about the Javelina 100-mile DNF and my experience with that. And that's why I wanted to show this whole training journey, because it's about the journey. It's not about the end, the destination, arriving at the destination. It's not about that. I kid you not when I say that the race literally passes you by in the blink of an eye. And when you are in that pain cave and you're in the race, you're deep into loop 3, you're 15 hours in, the sun is beating down on you, and you wish for it to be over. Don't wish for it to be over. Wish for it not to be over as fast as you want it to be over, because pain is a privilege. Pain is a privilege that so many do not get. It's Monday, January 12th, and I rarely ever start a workout without these side donkey kicks. They're a great way to warm up your glutes. Let's get on the treadmill. And here we go. This one was done after work on Monday. I never miss a 5K because it's just ingrained in my head now. 7 years later and going into the 8th year of my 5-kilometer streak. It's like, do you think about changing your underwear, brushing your teeth? Probably not. And that is the way I think about my 5K. I just do it. I don't think about it. I don't schedule it, like very rarely. Tuesday morning came bright and early. I'm meeting my friend for a run. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I run with my friend, and it's such a great way to stay accountable over the winter, especially because I do not want to run outside. So her and I have this Tuesday and Thursday thing going on, and as you can see, it's pretty dark, and she caught me recording outside. Let's go. Typically what my friend and I do is we do a 2-minute run and a 1-minute walk alternate. The entire 5 kilometers and then some. We alternate the 2-minute running, 1-minute walking, and of course we go by how our body feels. During the day, I'm a financial advisor for one of the big banks in Canada, and I took a walk to the grocery store and got some much needed supplies for the week. I bought these compression sleeves about 6 years ago, and they are such a great investment for helping your legs have more circulation, especially after long runs, especially after big races. If you're going to be a runner, sometimes you can't choose. Are you going to be a winter runner? Are you going to be a summer runner or a fair weather runner? And I'm just a runner, so luckily I have my trusty treadmill that I bought on Marketplace. It's probably 20 years old, and it's a Nautilus commercial treadmill. I love it. I've had it for about 4 or 5 years. This box of joy brings me joy because that's my phone stand. And today's run was not a run, it was a walk. So I did an elevated walk on incline. I think the incline was set to 4, and I actually didn't realize that my treadmill has a way to measure elevation. Duh! So at the end of this walk, I realized that I had walked, or rather kind of hiked, because the incline was set to 4, about 600 feet. I'm sweating, as you can see. I think it's cool to know how many feet you can walk on your treadmill and to keep track of that, especially if you're doing trail races and you need to have elevation training and you don't have hills or mountains around you. A treadmill is a great way to do that. Also, so is a Stairmaster. So don't knock a Stairmaster until you try it. And apparently Costco now sells Stairmasters. I just saw one the other day, and let me tell you how tempted I am to buy a Stairmaster. So this was Wednesday's walk. It's a active recovery walk, because again, I don't miss a 5K, and this felt really good. Great way to reset the middle of the week for some serious running that's going to happen this weekend. Are you like me and you have a little bit of ADHD or ADD? Well, I've been putting off getting my issue 6 magazine together. I've had all the articles from all the contributors for quite a while, and finally tonight I sent off all the material to the designer. Either the resistance band donkey kicks or these jumps. I do about 30 to 40 jumps to warm up, and these are actually, like I've said before in a previous video, a fantastic way to warm up your entire body, including your calves and your ankles. Try a few of these, and then we did these hamstring sweeps, front to back, back to front. Keep repeating until you are warmed up. Great way to wake up the hamstrings and to stretch out the glutes a little bit, just gently. We're not forcing anything to go way down. It's just the motion is the lotion. And another favorite, grab the broom that's near you. Do not fly away or fly off or give your neighbors any ideas, but start some leg swings. Front to back, back to front, side to side, however you can manage. Or if you need to lean against a wall. My friends here, I gotta go run. Of course, of all the hats that I could pull out, I pulled out this hat that was knit by a neighbor. Apparently, I think it was knit by my friend's mom, but she doesn't seem to think so. She thinks that her mom gave me a gray hat, but I'm certain it was this blue hat. And I look like I belong in a synchronized swimming pool, but beggars can't be choosers. And of course, I had to make some videos for you guys. And my friend is like, what are you doing? And so she decided to jump into the video. Serves me right. And hello, Jean. I asked her permission if she could be in the video. Look at her. She's such a trooper. What would I do without her and our Tuesday and Thursday morning run? We came, and it's going to be another walk on the treadmill. Oh, but I love my coffee space even more. Saturday morning came finally, and my little corner of the couch is waiting for me. And there's a second refill also that has my name on it. Before that Saturday long run, I treasure every sip, every pause. And it's time to put this hair knot and get ready for the run, because if things are not in order, if things are loose, if things are flying everywhere, then you just feel out of sorts. On the weekends, I like to get a variety of trails or different elements. So instead of just being on the treadmill or running close to home, I like to head up to Knox Mountain. Welcome to the beautiful Okanagan Lake. We are on top of Knox Mountain doing a mini trail run, about 4.5 miles today. I promised my son I would not have him in the footage, and I don't see him, do you? But let's just enjoy these views. In the spring, this mountainside is absolutely stunning, with the official provincial flower of BC that looks kind of like a mix of a sunflower and a daffodil. It's yellow. It's beautiful. I asked my son to hold my phone, and he's doing a great job of getting footage of me running. There's the Strava report, 4.5 miles. His pace is much faster than mine. Yeah, we got one section that was under 11-minute miles, and I was breathing hard. But this is such great practice for me. And there is the Okanagan Lake. It is absolutely massive. I think it's about 150 miles in length.
Some action shots.
If you're a beginner runner, I have to tell you, something, and that is that I finally found my pace that was just right for me after almost 2 years of running. The first 2 years of my streak, I was trying to push things really hard, and I was always struggling and always finding it hard to breathe. Yes, but it's true. And I also do take a puffer, an inhaler, for when I do trail running because of the hills. But truly, when I'm on flats and I have a groove and I've got my pace and it's comfortable, that is the best kind of running. And I have to tell you, it took 2 years of fumbling around and experimenting with paces until I found the right pace for me. I also have to tell you, don't quit too soon. And that is because your body needs to get used to the exertion you are putting on it. Also, did you know that your veins are like hundreds and hundreds of kilometers, and that they work so hard to get the blood pumping through your body when you're basically throwing it into a fire pit and you are trying to make it run? So don't quit, please, and just give yourself a break for at least 2 years. Just finished my 5 miles on the treadmill. That makes 9.5 miles for today. And my goal is to have 10% more each weekend leading up to, excuse me for burping, leading up to the Javelina 100 race, the 100-mile race in Arizona on October 31st. Kept the promise to myself, and tomorrow on the plan is 7 miles. 3 of it will be hiking outside, and then 4 is going to be on the treadmill again. So consistency pays off, because you don't feel like you're making huge jumps as you gradually increase your mileage. You just feel like you're adding on, a little molehill, and you're chomping away at it one bite at a time instead of like a massive gulp, which is overwhelming and can stress people out. So that is why I always recommend start a streak of some sort and make it your base, whether it's 1 kilometer a day, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers of running a day. And that can be, run, walk, set your watch. So my Garmin is set to 2 minutes running, 1 minute walking. And sometimes I don't pay attention to it, and sometimes I do. Sunday is another great day, wouldn't you agree? And it's the last day of this week 3 training week. And it's the last day of week 3 training week. So we're outside again in the morning for a 5K hike. Look at that natural acting that we've got here, and phenomenal camera work. This time I didn't cut off the top of my head. So look at me running back to grab my camera so no one steals it off the bench that I propped it up on. But, anything for YouTube. I apologize for the voiceover mishap. I can't correct it, so it's just going to have to be that way. This is that move that I promised you is going to change your life, and that is called a seated weighted calf raise, and I'm using 70 pounds on one leg. So now I'm about to show you my calendar. This is what each week should look like. I put blue next to the end of Sunday because that's where my week ends. So I put blue as my mileage goals. So 35, 36, 37, 38, going up by 1, literally by 1 each week until I hit my Croatia break, and then going back up to 35. So I'm going to start from 35 and then add 2 miles each week, and getting into the 40s, starting to get into the 50s, and then I'm going to have probably 4 weeks in a row, including the 50K, of 60-mile weeks leading up to Javelina. And this will look like probably like something like this. So 65, we're going to drop down to 50, 45, 30, and then we're going to have just 3 miles a day and dropping down to 21, because 3 times 7 is 21 and a bit. So that is what my training calendar looks like. I think it's pretty cool how I've been able to map this out. And of course, I can't tell you yet. I know that most of this mileage is going to come from 2 back-to-back runs, always on a Saturday and Sunday. So they're going to kind of mirror each other. The Saturday is going to be the longest run. So actually, I can put L's here because I know that, actually I should put very long because I know that I like to do my long runs on Saturdays, because then I have Sundays as about, I want to say 75% to even 60%, 60 to 75% of the run on Saturday done on Sunday. So I'd even say like maybe 50%. For example, yesterday I did 9.5, and then today I'm only going to do 7. So whatever that math works out to. But I really like this setup. I just made this up. Also, I think a lot of people, when they train for ultras, they do increase their mileage every weekend. But this feels comfortable and doable to me and doesn't scare me, because it just doesn't scare me. That is a lot of miles. So for example, this would be 3 and 5, another 3, and I'd say that this is like a rest day walking, and then I'd say this is another 5. So you've got 16 here, and then I'd say this is a 3 again. So 16, 17, 18, 19, and then you're going to probably have 21 miles here. So 19 and 21 are 40. And then because this week I need 52, so then this is going to be 12. So that's how I'm doing it. So if you've made it this far into the video, I thank you so much for watching. I couldn't be more grateful that you've decided to spend a very small part of your Sunday watching this video. And I hope that if you have any questions, you will reach down and click and put your question in the question box, and I will be sure to get back to you. The other thing that I mentioned earlier when you were looking at the calendar while I was showing you my calendar, that's another part of the video. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any questions, please be sure to put them down in the comment section, and I am always so happy to answer those questions. There's a lot of people on here who are intimidated by their own weight and are scared to get out there and try it. And when I tell you that I've been running at this weight between 245 and 270 some days, a couple of years ago, around 260, 265, 250, which is what I've been now for several months, maybe half a year. I've been hovering at 250. There's a lot of people who are intimidated just because there's a 2 in front of the number on the scale. And I'm here to tell you not to be. Please do not be intimidated by such trivial things. Our bodies are incredible. They are so strong. They have muscle memory, and they were made to run. They were made to move. They were made to run. They were made to climb mountains. They were made to run down mountains and hike them in valleys, around lakes, especially in nature. So I hope you enjoy this journey. Look out for next week's video, week 4, also on Sunday. I'm going to be posting on Sundays now. If you would like to support me, in my description box, there is a link to the 5 issues that I've published of my magazine, Run Your Life magazine. Yes, I was sick and tired of not seeing women that looked like me, that looked like us, average runners, slow runners, back of the pack runners, in Runner's World magazine, women's running magazine, women's health, fitness magazines, whatever. I was tired of not seeing women that look like me, and so I published my own. And I started publishing my own magazine in 2022, at the end of 2022. And issue 6 is coming out now, but issues 1 to 5 are available, and they're available digital, and I do ship them worldwide. So if you do want to support me, I would be so grateful and so happy to send you an issue of Run Your Life magazine. And I think everybody should run their life instead of their life being run for them. So thanks for watching. Like and share and comment and do whatever. Go and follow me on Instagram. That's where I post my little daily morning runs, my daily 5Ks. On there, I'm called Big Fit I Run. Big Fit _I _run. And if you search up Sandra McCulloch, you'll find me there. I have a really big community there that I've been growing since 2018. And I'm very grateful for all of my followers there, which have led me to here, to YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed week 3 of my road to redemption for the Javelina 100 mile race in October 2026. See you there.